The rain was relentless, hammering the city with the fury of 1,000 regrets. I stood on the balcony of an old, decrepit building, staring into the distance. My name is Elias, second in command of the Order of Shadows. Our mission is clear: to hunt down the corrupt and evil in society. But the path to get here was long and winding, forged in blood and shadow. My story begins with my father, the enigmatic and feared leader of the Order. He was a man of strict principles, believing in the ancient runes that adorned our weapons. These runes, he taught me, were not mere decorations but conduits of power. They were inscribed with ancient incantations that enhanced our abilities, making our weapons an extension of our will. The runes glowed with an eerie light when activated, a testament to their otherworldly origins. From a young age, I was trained in the art of the blade. My father ensured that I became proficient with every weapon imaginable: swords, daggers, scythes, and more. Each weapon had its own rhythm, its own dance, and I mastered them all. The runes etched into their surfaces became as familiar to me as my own reflection, their glow a constant reminder of the power I wielded. My training partner was a girl named Wendy. We were both groomed for greatness, each with our own strengths and weaknesses. Wendy was quick and agile, her movements like poetry in motion. She was given the name Weeping Wendy, not because she was weak, but because her strikes were filled with a sorrow that could only come from understanding the darkness we fought against. Wendy and I were inseparable during our training. We sparred, studied, and grew together. Our bond was forged in the crucible of combat, our skills honed by countless hours of practice. Yet, while I embraced the teachings of the Order wholeheartedly, Wendy began to question our path. She spoke of light, of redemption, concepts that had no place in our world of shadows. It was during a mission in a desolate part of the city that I first noticed the change in Wendy. We had been sent to eliminate a corrupt businessman who was trafficking children. It should have been a straightforward operation, but Wendy hesitated. As we stood over the man, her blade poised for the kill, she lowered it. "What are you doing?" I hissed, my own weapon ready to strike.
Elias, there has to be another way.
She whispered, her voice trembling.
We can't just kill everyone who does wrong. There's a chance for redemption.
Her words struck me like a blow. I had been taught that evil must be eradicated, that there was no room for mercy. But looking into her eyes, I saw a flicker of doubt I thought I had long buried. We completed the mission, but the seeds of division had been sown. Wendy grew increasingly distant, her heart pulling her toward the light while I remained steadfast in the shadows. It saddened me to see her drift away, but I remained loyal to the Order and to my father. When Wendy finally went rogue, it was a blow to the Order and to me personally. My father saw her as a threat, a traitor who needed to be eliminated. I was given the grim task of ending her life, a duty I carried out without hesitation but with a heavy heart. I couldn't do it myself. I was too close to her. Instead, I trained a new recruit, a woman who became known as the Whispering Blade. The Whispering Blade was a natural, her skills with the sword unmatched. I trained her rigorously, ensuring she would be capable of handling the task of taking down Wendy. The runes on her blade glowed brightly with each strike, a sign of her mastery over the ancient magic that powered our weapons. The training sessions were intense, each one pushing her to her limits and beyond. I taught her the secrets of the runes, how to channel their power to enhance her strikes and increase her speed. She learned quickly, her dedication and skill a testament to her potential. When the time came, we tracked Wendy to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The battle between Weeping Wendy and the Whispering Blade was fierce, each clash of their weapons lighting up the dark space with a glow that seemed almost supernatural. I watched from the shadows, my heart heavy with the knowledge that I had orchestrated this deadly encounter. As the Whispering Blade moved in for the kill, a voice rang out, stopping the fight in its tracks. A detective named Nick Mercer had stumbled upon our secret world. His intervention allowed Wendy to escape into the shadows, her life spared for the moment. The encounter with Mercer changed everything. The Order of Shadows was no longer a myth. It was real, and it had been exposed. I knew then that our operations would need to change, that we had to adapt to this new reality. But more than that, I realized my father's vision for the order was flawed. His rigid adherence to the old ways would be our undoing. My father's teachings had always been absolute. The corrupt must be eliminated, no exceptions. He believed in the purity of our mission, that we were the last line of defense against chaos. But Mercer's intervention made me question everything. Was there a better way to achieve our goals? Could we evolve without losing our essence? I began to plot my father's downfall. I knew it wouldn't be easy. He was a formidable opponent, a master of the dark arts and the blade. But I was determined. I would take over the order and steer it towards a new future, one where we could truly balance the scales of justice. The runes on our weapons held the key to this transformation. These symbols, etched with ancient power, were more than just tools of destruction. They were a bridge between our world and the mystical forces that shaped our destiny. The runes glowed with an eerie light, their power activated by our will and intent. They allowed us to move with supernatural speed, to strike with unerring accuracy, and to sense the presence of evil. My plan was simple yet deadly. I would use the power of the runes to defeat my father, to take control of the order and reshape it in my image. But I needed allies, and I knew where to find them. The Whispering Blade, loyal and deadly, would stand by my side. And Weeping Wendy, if I could convince her, would be the key to bridging the gap between our old ways and the new path I envisioned. As I plotted, a new threat emerged on the horizon, one that could unite even the most bitter enemies. Whispers spoke of an ancient evil rising, something more powerful and malevolent than anything we had faced before. If the rumors were true, even the combined strength of the Order might not be enough to stop it. I had heard tales of the Shadow King, a being of pure darkness, said to be the source of the rune's power. This entity had been dormant for centuries, but something had awoken it. The signs were subtle at first: a rise in violent crimes, strange occurrences, and whispers in the dark. But the evidence was mounting, and I knew that we were on the brink of something catastrophic. To combat this threat, the Order of Shadows would need to change. We could no longer operate in the shadows, dealing death in the name of justice. We needed to unite, to bring together our fractured ranks and face the coming storm as one. It was a daunting task, but I was ready. I reached out to Wendy, arranging a secret meeting in a secluded part of the city. She arrived, her eyes wary but curious. We talked long into the night, discussing our past, our present, and the uncertain future. I explained my vision, my desire to reshape the Order, and the looming threat of the Shadow King. To my relief, Wendy agreed to join me. She understood the necessity of change, of evolving to face the challenges ahead. With her by my side, I knew we had a chance. The final piece of the puzzle was the Whispering Blade. She was loyal to me, but her dedication to the old ways was unshakable. Convincing her to join our cause would be difficult, but not impossible. I explained the situation, the need for unity, and the threat we faced. Slowly, she began to see the wisdom in my words. The stage was set. The time for action had come. We would confront my father, challenge his leadership, and take control of the Order. It would be a battle unlike any we had faced before, a fight for the very soul of our organization. The rain continued to fall, a relentless reminder of the storm brewing both outside and within. I took a deep breath, steeling myself for the battles to come. The city was a labyrinth of shadows, and I was determined to navigate it to its heart. My name is Elias, and I am the future of the Order of Shadows. The path ahead is fraught with danger and darkness, but I am ready. The runes on my blade glow with the promise of power, and I will carve a new destiny for the Order, one that will stand against any threat that comes our way. The shadows are my home, and I will rule them. The ancient runes will guide us, and together, we will face the darkness that threatens our world. The Order of Shadows will rise, stronger and more united than ever before. And in the end, we will prevail. For the light cannot exist without the shadow, and the shadow cannot thrive without the light. This is the balance we must achieve, the harmony that will see us through the trials to come. The Order of Shadows will be the beacon in the darkness, the sword that strikes down evil, and the shield that protects the innocent. This is our destiny, and I will see it fulfilled.
Your support means everything to us. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen for more Shadowy Delights.